all the barons said they would pray him and desire him. So Merlin was sent for, and fair desired of all the barons to give them best counsel. Shall say to you, said Merlin, I warn you all, your enemies are passing strong for you, and there are good men of arms as be alive. And by this time they have gotten to them 4 kings more, and mighty dukes, and unless that our king have more chivalry with him than he may make within the bounds of his own realm, and he fight with them in battle, he shall be overcome and slain. What were best to do in this cause, so all the barons I shall tell you, said Merlin. Mine advice, there are 2 brethren beyond the sea, and they be kings both, and marvellous good men of their hands, and that one hight not King of Benwick, another hight King Bors of Gaul, that is France. And on these 2 kings worth a mighty man of men, the king of Claudius, and striveth with him for a castle, and great war betwixt them. But this Claudius is so mighty of goods, whereof he getteth good knights, that he putteth these 2 kings most part to the worst. Wherefore this is my counsel, that our king, sovereign lord, send unto the king's band and wars by 2 trusty knights with letters well devised, that they will come and seek King Arthur and his court, and so help him in his wars, that he will be sworn unto them to help them in their wars against King Claudius. Now, what say ye unto this counsel, said Merlin? This is well counselled, said the king and all the barons. Right so, in all haste, they were ordained to go 2 knights on the message unto the 2 kings. So were there made letters in the pleasant wise according unto King Arthur's desire. Ulfius and Rasius were made the messengers, and so rode forth, well horsed and well armed, and as the guise was the time, and so passed the sea and rode toward the city of Benwick. And there besides were 8 knights that espied them, and at straight passage they met with Ulfius and Rasias, and would have taken them prisoners. So they prayed them that they might pass, for they were messengers unto King Ban and Bors, sent from King Arthur. Therefore said the 8 knights, ye shall die or be prisoners, for we be knights of King Claudius. And therewith 2 of them dressed their spears, and Ulfius and Rasias dressed their spears, and ran together with great rondom. And Claudius' knights brake their spears, and theirs to held, and bare the 2 knights out of their saddles to the earth. So left them lying, and rode their ways. And the other 6 knights rode afore to a passage to meet with them again. And so Ulfius and Rasias smote other 2 down, and so passed on their ways. And at the 4th passage there met 2 for 2, and both were laid unto the earth. And so there was none of the 8 knights but he was sore hurt or bruised. And when they come to Benwick, good fortune there were both kings, Ban and Bors. And when it was told the kings that were come the messengers, there were sent unto them the 2 knights of worship, the one hight Leonesus, lord of the country of Payharn, and Sir Flarians, a worshipful knight. And on they asked from whence they came, and they said from King Arthur, king of England. So they took them in their arms, and made great joy each of other. But anon, as the 2 kings wist they were messengers of Arthur's, there was made of no tarrying. But forthwith they spake with the knights, and welcomed them the faithfulness wise, and said they were most welcome unto them before all the kings living. And therewith they kissed the letters, and delivered them. And when Ban and Bors understood the letters, then they were more welcome than they were before. And after the haste of the letters, they gave this answer, that they would fulfill the desire of King Arthur's writing, and Ulfius and Rasias tarry there as long as they would. They should have such share as might be made them in those marches. Then Ulfius and Rasias told the kings of the adventure at their passages of the 8 knights. Ha, said Ban and Bors, they were my good friends. I would I had wist them they should not have escaped so. So Ulfius and Rasias had good cheer and great peace, as much as they might bear away. And they in their answer, by mouth and by writing, that those 2 kings would come unto Arthur in all the haste that they might. So the 2 knights rode on afore, and passed the sea, and came to their lord, and told him how they had said whereof King Arthur was passing glad. At what time suppose ye the 2 kings will be here? Sir, said they, afore all Hallow Mass. Then the king let purvey for a great feast, and let cry a great joust. And by all Hallow Mass the 2 kings were come over the sea with 100 knights well arrayed, both for the peace and for the war. And King Arthur met with them 10 mile out of London, and there was great joy as could be thought or made. And on all Hallow Mass, at the great feast, they sat in the hall of the 3 kings, and Sir Kay, since you all served in the great hall, and Sir Lucas the butler, that was the Duke Cornesius' son, and Sir Griflet, that was the son of Hardolf. These 3 knights had the rule of all the service that served the kings and anon. And as he watched and risen all knights that would joust, made them ready. By then they were ready on horseback, where there were 700 knights, and Arthur, Ban and Bors with the Archbishop of Canterbury and Sir Ector Kay's father. They were in a place covered with cloth of gold, like in a hall, alight with ladies and gentlewomen, for to the whole who did best, and thereon to give judgment. Chapter 11. A great tourney made by King Arthur and the 2 kings, Ban and Bors, and how they went over the sea. And King Arthur and the 2 kings led apart the 700 knights in 2 parties, and there were 300 knights of the realm of Benwick and of Gaul, turned on the other side. Then they dressed their shields, and began to couch their spears, many good knights. So Griflet was the first, and had met with a knight, one Ladinas, and they met so eagerly that all men had wondered, and they so thought their shields fell to pieces, and horses and man fell to the earth, and both the French knight and the English knight lay so long that all men weened that they had been dead. When Lucas the butler saw Griflet so lie, he horsed him again anon, and they 2 did marvellous deeds of arms, and with many bachelors. Also Sir Kay came out of an ambushment with 5 knights with him, and they 6 smote other 6 down. But Sir Kay did the marvellous deeds of arms, that there was none did so well as he that day. Then there came Ladinas and Gracion, 2 knights of France, and did passing well, and that all men praised them. Then came there Sir Placidas, a good knight, and met with Sir Kay, and smote him down horse and man. Wherefore Sir Griflet was wroth, and met with Sir Placidas so hard that horse and man fell to the earth. But when the 5 knights wished that Sir Kay had a fall, they were wroth out of wit, and therewith each of them 5 bare down a knight. When King Arthur and the 2 kings saw them began to wax wroth on both parties, they kept on small hackneys, and let cry that all men should depart unto their lodging. And so they went home and anon to them, and so to the even song and supper. And after the 3 kings went into a garden, and gave the prize unto Sir Kay, and to Lucas the butler, and unto Sir Griflet. And then they went unto the council, and with them Wenbois the brother unto Sir Ban and Bors, a wise clerk, and thither went unto Ulfius and Brastias and Merlin. And after they had been in council, they went unto bed. And on the morn they heard mass and to dinner. And so their council made many agreement arguments what were best to do. At the last they were concluded that Merlin should go with a token of King Ban, and that was agreement to the men in the king wars. And Gratian and Placidius should go again and keep their castles and their countries, as for dread of King Claudius. King Ban of Benwick and King Bors of Gaul had ordained them. And so passed the sea and came to Benwick. And when the people saw King Ban's ring and crashing and